A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Monday, May 8th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Orange County Executive Steve Newhouse and Newburgh Town Supervisor Gil Perquadio are criticizing what they call the lack of planning by the federal government when they received word that a busload of asylum seekers would be sent to the Orange Lake area of Newburgh. The two Republicans were informed by New York City Mayor Eric Adams that the Big Apple would be sending some 60 single men to be housed temporarily in a hotel. Newhouse and Perquadio both have questions about, in their words, who these immigrants are and remain concerned if they're properly vetted. It's another example of the federal government's failed immigration policy and inability to control the border, they said. Perquadio was critical of the location chosen as it has no resources within walking distance, he said. Orange County will receive $500,000 from the federal government, and Orange and Dutchess County Transportation Access and Mobility Study will be started with that funding. Orange County legislator Kevin Darian Lujan says the study's a long time in coming.
It's for some, it might seem like a pipe dream, but for others like myself and many here in this room, it is a way for us to really connect the airport to through the city of Newburgh to New York City as well, to boost tourism, to create jobs. It's a huge game changer if it actually gets done. And so for us to have that starting blocks to be able to get this study, it's significant. And I hope that it is the beginning of something greater.
More than 2 decades ago, there was discussion of running a rail from Stewart Airport to the Hudson River, with access to the Newburgh-Beacon Bridge and Metro-North Railroad in Beacon. The Centers for Disease Control are recommending that people in certain groups should get a COVID-19 booster shot. The pandemic appears to have waned, but people are still catching the virus. Orange County Health Commissioner Dr. Alicia Pointer says a booster is recommended under certain conditions.
If it's been over 4 months since your last booster, people can get it again if they're 65 or older or have some kind of immune compromise. And certainly if people haven't gotten their bivalent boosters yet, which is still a lot of our residents, we recommend they get their bivalent booster.
Persons can receive the booster from their doctor, pharmacy, or at the county's new mobile health van. In an effort to attract more local residents to its eclectic art, Dia Beacon has launched a free admission initiative to people living on both sides of the Hudson River. The 20-year-old art museum has been offering free admission to Beacon residents, and now people living in Newburgh are being invited at no charge. State Assemblyman Jonathan Jacobson of Newburgh represents both cities.
You could say that Newburgh and Beacon are joined at the hip, or at least a bridge and a ferry. And for centuries, the two cities shared common economic and cultural ties.
Jacobson also announced that he's secured $150,000 in state funding for the Arts Center to expand community and educational programs. Beacon Mayor Lee Kuriakou says Dia has been transformative for both cities. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji, 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
As the light started to fade away from the Catskills, there was a gathering and candlelight vigil over the weekend on Main Street in Liberty for Akasha, a toddler who died from a drug overdose. The 16-month-old died from fentanyl on Tuesday, following a report of a baby having a cardiac arrest at the Nights Inn Motel. Dana Scruggs organized the vigil.
I keep thinking about she just played with her little earrings and she had the biggest smile on her big cheeks. She was the most beautiful baby.
Another baby, a 4-month-old, was also taken to the hospital after being exposed to the lethal synthetic opioid. Following an investigation, 41-year-old Jimmy Lovert and 26-year-old Lisa Kite were arrested and charged with criminally negligent homicide and endangering the welfare of a child. The Newburgh Landing Pier on the Hudson River will be rebuilt with a $4 million federal grant. The Orange County Legislature approved acceptance of the funds. Legislator Kevin Darien Lujan of Newburgh said the pier will be a real game changer.
It's going to really bring a lot of tourism to the area. That pier is very unique in that it actually is one of the only areas that you can have a deep port with large cruise ships that could go through there. This is a significant investment in for the city of Newburgh for that pier.
The pier was constructed in 1975 to accommodate the state's bicentennial barge, a floating museum that traveled state waterways, docking at various locations with exhibits to commemorate the nation's 200th birthday. Over the years since then, it has collapsed. William Billy Steinberg is never far from the minds of firefighters at the Forestburg Fire Company No. 1. Steinberg tragically died in the line of duty on January 15, 2022, while responding to a structure fire in Monticello. Steinberg was 37 years old. This weekend, his name was added, along with 146 other firefighters from across the country, to the Fallen Firefighters Museum in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Steinberg's father, Jim, mother, Lori, and entire family made the trip for Memorial Weekend to see his name permanently added. Steinberg was a fourth-generation firefighter with 22 years of dedicated service. The deadly fire was set by serial arsonist Mohammed Islam, who had been arrested and released under the state's bail reform law after setting similar fires the days leading up to Steinberg's death. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.